Good news! Alden Sci-Fi World just got a bunch of new submissions.
That's a lot of submissions. Do I need to read them all?
You don't need to read every single one, but give me a sense of what's in here.
I've heard some people use topic models or language models for this. Can we use it to make the review faster?
Use whatever you want. I just care that you get it done. But don't give me AI slop. I need to actually know what's in here, not what some language model hallucinated.
Okay, I will do that.
Although this scenario is fake, this kind of task is real. These scenarios play out in newsrooms, in government offices, in academic labs. You don't just have to find a needle in the haystack, you need to describe what the haystack is. There are many tools for approaching this task, and figuring out which one is best is a really difficult problem. Daniel thought about using AI, large language models, things like that to solve his problem, but it's hard to know if they'll actually be useful for this sort of task. And so that brings us to our work here, where we are trying to measure how useful AI tools are in helping people make sense of a large collection of documents. And we're evaluating LLM-based topic model approaches against traditional topic models in this particular use case. We asked 3 questions about topic models. One's a common data analysis tool, but one that gets less attention today thanks to the novelty of LLMs. Can unsupervised LLMs describe domain-specific corpora, like, say, a bunch of sci-fi stories? Does adding human supervision help them understand the documents better? Do any of the new LLM topic models beat traditional topic models, like LDA, when real users try to answer research questions? The answers to these questions are no, yes, maybe. In particular, our answer to question number 3 is a new human-computer interaction that combines the best of LLMs and topic models. BASE, bot-assisted semantic sense-making. Using humans in the process to check out latent topics generated by these models, such as LLMs, can not only improve language models' faithfulness, but also help humans understand and explore the topics in the underlying corpus while they interact with the LLM. We have many methods available, such as latent dirichlet allocation, prompting GPT-4, also known as topic GPT, topic modeling with llama. All of these could solve Daniel's problem, but are they useful to Daniel? We answer that question with the user study. We test how much users learn from interacting with different topic models. While LLM topic models are more descriptive and interpretable, classic topic models don't have issues such as hallucinations or intensive computing resource needs. We pit 4 methods against each other in a controlled user study. LDA is our classic baseline. It represents keywords as topics. Topic GPT and Loom are 2 prompt-based, unsupervised LLM baselines. And against them we put BASE, which builds on other interactive topic modeling systems for interactive labeling of large corpora. Starting with Alto, Active Learning for Topic Overviews in 2016, a series of models progressively adds more deep learning, has continued to combine human input with ML and AI tools for content analysis. BASE builds on Tenor, which used neural topic models. BASE goes even deeper by using LLMs. Let's see how BASE works. In our BASE workflow, the user skims the article in the left panel, picks the best of BASE's 3 suggested labels: perfume, concepts, and brands. Fits, and after a quick edit, if needed, hit submit. The label turns green, and the active learning panel on the right immediately groups dozens of similar perfume stories under that tag, letting you review or adjust them without starting from scratch. Finding good data sets for topic modeling experiments is hard, because LLMs have seen almost everything before. But that's not realistic. A lot of LLM applications are on new sci-fi stories that people just submitted, or other material outside of traditional LLM training data. So to mimic the scenario at the start of the video, we synthesize a data set of story summaries with predefined science fiction themes and scenarios, write questions and answers to address those questions. Llama 7b generates the stories, full details in the paper. We also include a standard topic model benchmark dataset, congressional bills, as part of our study. The other thing that we want to understand is, what does it mean for a topic model to actually have worked well? Rather than use traditional topic model metrics like coherence, we try to measure how much users learn over the course of interacting with the model and the dataset. To measure how much they knew before, users take a pretest, explore topics, with their assigned tool, then take the same test as a post-test. Given those two answers, before and after, we collect 3 quantitative statistics: answer consistency, answer quality, and human pairwise preference. What was better before or after? It was better after means that the users learned through the course of interacting with the model. Let's explain what each of these means in a little bit more detail. Answer consistency is, do the people in each group have similar responses and conclusions? If their answers line up more after using the tools, it means that they share an understanding of the data set. We check this with a sentence transformer that scores how similar the user answers are. Answer quality. How close are their answers to an expected reference answer? Higher similarity here means that they're learning the right topic and themes. Finally, we hand pairs of answers blind to which tool produced them to independent annotators and ask, which of these responses do you prefer? A higher preference means that, on average, the tool helped users answer the questions better. Taken together, these metrics help us measure whether, after interacting with the model, we split our participants into 15 people per condition. What tool are you using? Before seeing any data, everyone answers a bunch of questions about the data set. This assesses how much they knew before actually looking at the data. Then they assess the documents with their assigned topic model or LLM tool, explore the corpus, and finally they answer the exact same questions that they had before once more. We compute all of the metrics that we talked about before: answer consistency, answer quality, for each of the responses before they use the tool and after they use the tool. Then we compute the score differences with post-test response scores minus the pre-test response scores. Automatic scores improve for every tool with no significant differences among the groups. We then hired annotators to figure out which of the answers were better before or after. Users judged Bayes answers the most persuasive in pairwise comparisons on both datasets. In our sci-fi scenario, curators using Bayes not only found the first contact ethics cluster, which was a real cluster, as part of the dataset, they also drafted richer pitch notes that the human evaluators preferred. So what did we learn? And what should we tell Daniel to do in going through his stack of sci-fi submissions? Our final conclusion is that LDA is still pretty good, and is probably the right tool for a quick and dirty scan of a dataset. LLMs can help you understand a large dataset, but they hallucinate a lot. And you probably need to have some structure. If you don't have Bayes or something like it, you should definitely go through all of your clusters discovered by these models to make sure that they are what they say they are. And if you don't want to do that by hand, download Bayes and use it for your next corpus exploration.